There's this really tiny street downtown that has tons of little food stalls. They sell very cheap and very delicious food, way better and way cheaper than any restaurant. A common type of private equity investment is the leveraged buyout, often referred to as LBO. This is when investors come in and temporarily take over a distressed company. They usually come in uninvited, so it's almost like a hostile takeover, but it's only a temporary hostile takeover. They borrow a bunch of money in the company's name, and then they use that borrowed money to fix up the company so it looks better on paper so that they can sell it to another company and make a profit. There's this small bar nearby where I live. I've never seen anybody in there except for this one bartender that's always working. He always remembers me. He told me a story once about a neurologist that was doing some research. It turns out they've recently discovered this tiny microscopic microbe. It's so light it floats around in the air and it doesn't normally interact with humans. They're starting to believe that this microbe is responsible for a lot of previously misunderstood medical conditions. Certain types of insanity, what a lot of people used to believe were demonic possessions. They found that this microbe is attracted to a certain type of neurological structure, one that is normally created in mind by certain linguistic structures that are on the boundary between logic and nonsense. These linguistic structures create a temporary neural resonance which is attractive to these microbes. Resonating structures can lead to attracting parasites. Attracting parasites generate inviting competition. And when you invite competition, you need to make sure you have a lot of space as part of time, which has been expanding since the beginning of the universe. But other competition is not so inviting. In fact, it can create repulsion, happens normally at the nuclear level. Space and time are connected, not separate things, are only separate because our perception isn't reality. Once these microbes are already in your brain and have been multiplying, this is the insanity that has already started. The insanity first comes disguised as night terrors. When you wake up tonight while you're sleeping and feel a presence, this presence causes maximum fear and paralysis. And since this is going to happen in the sleep state, the normal flow of time doesn't exist. So this terrifying paralysis can last a lifetime. Then these microbes start to multiply inside your brain and you'll start to see entities everywhere. In public, walking right behind you, sitting behind you, watching you from behind other people, always right on the other side of your consciousness. This is when insanity has already become irreversible, and this is exactly what they used to think were demonic possessions. Invariably, the companies that are subject to an LBO are bankrupt within a few years. These external financial entities come in, strip them of their remaining capital, and then move on to the next host. Very capable, very well organized, very legal financial parasites. The other night I had a double bacon cheeseburger, really fresh and delicious meat. Thick cheddar cheese, 4 slices of extra thick hickory smoked bacon, and a huge basket of steak fries, deep fried order, all for $2.50. I think it's run by the local mafia, but these are absolutely the best burgers I have ever eaten.